All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Curriculum Design and Evaluation 517 for Concordia. Happy to have you. My name is Stan Macheski. I am going to be your professor for this kind of summer course. It's pressing to the end of the school year. Always is a tough time. But this is a really important course, and there's a lot of good activities and assignments inside of this. So just a little bit about who I am. I'm currently the Executive Director of Elementary Education for the Irvine Unified School District in Orange County, California. I've been a principal for 13 years before that. I've been in this job for about 7, and I've worked in TK through 8th grade as a site leader. So, and I've also been with Concordia since 2006. So I've pretty much taught all the courses that you've had and kind of worked through it. This is a really good one. Tough term. The summer term's tough because you're kind of closing out the school year. But let's get to it. So, typical pattern that you see, it follows the videos and the readings and the Christian message and the learning modules, discussion boards, and assignments. In this particular one, there's a decent amount of reading, and there are 5 assignments, not 4. So it's like one extra one than you're typically used to. So a couple of recommendations. You want to get the readings done as early as possible. So, get in there early, do the readings, go through the learning modules as quickly as you can. They lend themselves nicely to the discussion prompts and the discussion board posts. So, and in this case, you want to plan ahead. You want to do some backwards planning with respect to these assignments. Because there's 5 of them, and one of them is a group project right at the end. So you want to kind of be able to map it out so that you have the right kind of pacing throughout this. So that's important. So let's talk real quickly about what the assignments are. So the first assignment is an interview. And so it's due the end of week 2. So one of the things you'll want to do right away is schedule that interview. It's a school or a district instructional leader. So you can pick who that might be. So it can be a site principal, it could be your site principal, but if it's a good opportunity to network a little bit. So if you haven't gotten a chance to speak directly to someone like me, at the district level, it's kind of a good opportunity for you to do. But you want to get that set up now. So that I do it in the first week. Sometimes it's tough to get into people's offices to do this or through a Zoom meeting. Obviously, those things happen more like that now. That's about a 5 to 7 page paper. Kind of written based on the questions and the prompts. So read through the assignment and the rubric and all that, and you can kind of take a look. But you want to get the interview set up. Second one is a professional development implementation plan around a particular challenge. So think about, and they want you to do something current. So what's a current issue that you're dealing with respect to instruction? And then what might you do to help improve that challenge? And so you would actually be creating what would end up being a 1-hour PD for your staff, for your faculty, around that particular challenge. It's basically going to be a slide deck, 10 to 15 slides. You'll use the notes section underneath it to basically kind of put out all the information that's required as part of the assignment. But basically you're putting together a presentation for something current that you might actually be able to use, whether it's the end of this year or perhaps as you start into next year. So it's really useful. That one's due week 4, and that's an individual assignment. Then you've got a couple of interesting ones. The next one is you're kind of creating a graphic organizer around what do good instructional programs look like. So I'm not going to go too deeply into these because we'll cover them each week as we talk, but this one ultimately ends up being a graphic organizer and a self-assessment form and how you're going to collect responses. So it's a creative task, and there's a little bit of latitude inside of that one. That one's week 6. Then the big one is week 7, and it's the signature assignment, and it's basically a philosophy of education. And you probably have written those a couple times, in student teaching and things like that. But this is a really meaningful assignment. I've taught this course a number of times, and this is the one assignment people are like, well, I didn't realize that this meant that much to me. And it kind of grounds you in your philosophy and in methods to reach the achievement of that philosophy. And it's great if you're interested in interviewing for jobs where you're moving into leadership. Understanding yourself as an educator and what your philosophy is vital. So it's not just for this course, but it's a really good personal experience. So think you'll like it. That's about 4 to 5 pages. do week 7, and so that's the one that they hold on to. And then week 8 is this assignment that's a group assignment, and it's basically you're putting together what would be a performance assessment to evaluate teachers. So I won't go too far into this one because we'll cover it again, but it's basically imagine you're presenting to the Board of Education about adopting this type of process to evaluate teachers based on kind of how they perform. So it's almost like when we're giving performance assessments for kids versus rote, pencil to paper, fill in the bubble type of a response. It's kind of guided on that. And that one's due that Friday of that week 8, right before 4th of July, where you can button it up and be all fun and have a good time. So anyway, that's the kind of quick overview of the course. My cell number is the number that's the contact number that's in here. You can reach out to me anytime. If you do text me, just make sure that you say, hi, I'm so-and-so from the course, because it'll be a random number for me. So other than that, I'll have a week 1 video posted as well. I'm happy to be here and happy to be with you for the next 8 weeks. Welcome to 517, and we'll talk soon.